Don't you love free software? There are so many different apps you can download onto your phone for free to play games. And yeah, sometimes you have to deal with advertising in the app, but playing the game is so worth it. And sometimes you can even get a free VPN. A VPN is a virtual private network. It encrypts traffic between your device, your cell phone, and the server that you're accessing. And there's tons of free VPNs that are out there. There's even a VPN called Onavo that was paying people to use it. It's got to be too good to be true, right? It actually was too good to be true. We just found out a couple of weeks ago that Facebook, who owned Onavo, this VPN, was actually spying on users of Snapchat, Amazon, and YouTube when they were using the Onavo VPN. Let's take a look at this article and see what we can do to protect ourselves from companies who act like this. First, if you're new here, my name is Kathy Zant. I've been in the internet security world for 20 years, and I've been dealing with hacked sites for about half of that time. My mission now is to share information about security with you so you can make better security decisions, not just about WordPress sites, not just about your email, but about everything that your digital life touches. So let's dive into this article and see what we can learn. This was reported in a number of different places, but let's take a look at this article from TechCrunch that is telling us that Facebook was snooping on users' Snapchat traffic in secret project. And these documents came out in a court case. So this was happening in 2016. They launched this secret project. They called it Project Ghostbusters. And the goal here was to understand users' behavior using the app Snapchat. They wanted to better compete with Snapchat according to these newly unsealed court documents. And on Tuesday, so this was a couple of weeks ago, this article was from March 26th. On Tuesday, the federal court in California released new documents discovered as a part of the class action lawsuit between consumers and Meta, Facebook's parent company. And basically what they discovered was one of the documents details what was happening with Project Ghostbusters. So this was part of the company's in-app action panel, or IAPP, which used a technique for intercepting and decrypting encrypted app traffic from users of Snapchat and later from users of YouTube and Amazon. So that's what the consumers' lawyers wrote in the document. The document includes internal Facebook emails discussing this project. So Mark Zuckerberg wrote in an email on June 9th, 2016, saying, given how quickly they are growing, that meaning Snapchat, seems important to figure out a new way to get reliable analytics about them. Perhaps we need to do panels or write custom software. You should figure out how to do this. So Facebook's engineers, their solution was to use Onavo, which was a VPN-like service that Facebook acquired in 2013. Now, they shut it down in 2019 after TechCrunch investigation revealed that Facebook had been secretly paying teenagers to use Onavo so that they could access all of their web activity. So after Zuckerberg's email in 2016, the Onavo team took on the project and a month later proposed a solution, kits that could be installed on iOS and Android that intercept traffic for specific subdomains. So they weren't grabbing all of the traffic, they were only grabbing some of it so that they could see what was happening between a user and the service that they were accessing. So this would be Amazon, Snapchat, or YouTube. So this is known in the security world as a man-in-the-middle attack. They now call it an adversary in the middle, where hackers intercept internet traffic from one device to another over a network. Given that Snapchat was encrypting traffic between the app and its servers, the network analysis technique wasn't effective. So they used Onavo, which, when activated, had the advantage of reading all of the device's network traffic before it was encrypted, before it was sent over the internet. Let's take a look at how that worked. So this isn't normally how a man-in-the-middle attack would happen. What would happen with this particularly privacy violation is you would have Snapchat open on your phone and you would be doing whatever it is that you do on Snapchat. If you had the Onavo VPN activated, instead of the traffic going straight from your cell phone to the Snapchat servers, it would go through the VPN to the servers, but it would still be encrypted. encrypted. Because of how Onavo was programmed, it was actually, before it even sent that data to the VPN and to Snapchat, it was sending the data to Meta or Facebook's servers so that they could analyze what you were doing with Snapchat, with Amazon, and with YouTube. Typically, a man-in-the-middle attack, the attack would happen somewhere within the VPN. There would be some kind of intercept that happens over the network. This was unique as a man-in-the-middle attack because it was happening on the user's device. So your device actually had, well, I would consider it malware on it, because the Onavo VPN application was doing things that could be perceived as malicious. Your privacy was being violated and information was being sent in a place where you had not intended for it to go. Now, not everyone within Facebook thought that this was a good idea. Pedro Canahuati, then the head of security engineering, expressed their concern, saying that I can't think of a good argument why this is okay. No security person is ever comfortable with this, no matter what consent we get from the general public. The general public just doesn't know how this stuff works. He wrote in an email that was also included in court documents. There is actually a class action lawsuit against Facebook that was filed in 2020, saying that the data they are extracting is being done deceptively. In the security world, there's something known as the CIA triad. This is what we're trying to do as security professionals. We are here to protect the confidentiality, the integrity, and the availability of systems. We don't want hackers to take down our systems. We don't want them to make them unstable. And we want to protect the confidentiality of the information that is stored in databases. That includes the personally identifiable information of our customers, of our users. In cases like this, confidentiality is kind of being thrown out the window. It violates some basic tenets of internet information security. It's violating confidentiality of users. So if you are using Onavo, if you had used Onavo's VPN at the time, your information was not being held confidential. It was being sent to Meta servers, to Facebook's servers, and they were analyzing that for competitive reasons. So confidentiality, the confidentiality you thought you had because you were making a choice to use a VPN to encrypt your traffic, no matter where you were traveling, traffic from your cell phone to the Snapchat servers was going to be encrypted. It was actually being sent to be analyzed by someone you didn't think was doing that analysis. So confidentiality was broken. Unfortunately, this is not the only time Facebook has exhibited some questionable data security practices. They have been fined by a number of jurisdictions. The European Union has fined them $1.3 billion for improperly transferring data out of the EU to the United States. They faced a £265 million fine in 2022 for a data scraping incident that compromised their users' data. Even in the United States, the FTC has imposed a landmark fine, $5 billion in 2019, part of a broader settlement that introduced new privacy restrictions on how Facebook managed user data. If you want to use a VPN that is trusted, if you're traveling and you're at an airport and you're not sure how well that network is secured, or if you're at an internet cafe and you need to check something on your bank account and you really want to have a VPN, private internet access is the VPN that I recommend. They have been around for a while and they'll give you a dedicated IP address so you're not just like grouped in with other people. A lot of services will block you if it looks like you're coming from a VPN. You won't have that problem with private internet access. If you're doing things and you want to stay private, you may want to have an IP address that is grouped with other people so that you can't be identified by IP address. But if you're just like logging into your bank account and you want to make sure that you're actually logging in, they know who you are anyway, you're putting your username and password in, and you just want to make sure that that connection is secure. Private internet access is the way to go. There is a link down below. It is an affiliate link, so if you sign up through that link, I get a little bit of something, a cup of coffee or maybe a pat on the back, helps make my work here possible when I get a little bit of something there. The same company that offers private internet access has another VPN service called CyberGhost. So if you want to anonymize your traffic and protect your privacy, for example, you want to hide your IP address from logging into Reddit or something of that nature, you can use that VPN and that will anonymize your traffic. And there's a link down below for CyberGhost VPN as well. Should you be using a VPN all the time? It's really up to you. If you are traveling, if you are on a network and you are unsure of how things are set up, I think that you should. If you are browsing traffic and you don't want a profile developed about who you are and what you're doing, I would use something like CyberGhost. Privacy is becoming increasingly more important as these large data companies are aggregating information about the sites you visit, the messages you send, the people you are friends with or connected to. All of this paints a picture of who you are, and as we're seeing with companies like Facebook, they have a profit motive for breaking the tenant's underlying security. They're breaking it with confidentiality, as these court documents are showing us. Now, does this mean you stop using Facebook? Your friends are probably there. It's probably useful in some cases. It's really important to log out of Facebook if you want them to not be able to track all of the various cookies on all of the Facebook pixels that are on various sites. If the privacy of your messages is important, I would choose a different messaging app than Facebook Messenger for everything other than the most innocuous happy birthday. I hope this video was helpful to you. If anything, the two takeaways that I'd like you to have is, one, just be aware of what big data is doing with your information. If you select a free product, realize that you are the product. And if privacy and security is incredibly important, make sure you are trusting your data connections to companies that exhibit respect for information security and respect for your confidentiality. My name is Kathy Zant. If you got something out of this video, go ahead and hit the like button and hit subscribe. Trying almost hitting 1,000 subscribers here. Pretty excited about that. And of course, get on my newsletter. You can go to zant.com and sign up for that, and you will get notified of any content that I put out that can be helpful to you. Thanks for watching.